The most interesting guests in the music industry, entertainment, art, and politics step into the studio for Turning Point with Frank MacKay.
This week on Turning Point with Frank MacKay, Barry Williams, who played Greg in the Brady Bunch, talks with Frank about his life in Branson, Missouri, his new musical production, and life after the Brady Bunch.
Coming up on Turning Point with Frank MacKay.
Alan Thicke, most remembered for his role as the father in Growing Pains, talks with Frank about his versatile career in the entertainment field and how his son is now carrying the torch.
And now, Turning Point with Frank MacKay.
Welcome to Turning Point. Our very special guest today is actor Barry Williams. Barry, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Just fine. In fact, I'm coming to you from Branson, Missouri, my new hometown, Branson, Missouri.
Is it really? You live there now?
I do. I moved here to open my show and run my show here for the foreseeable future. I really enjoy it here, and it's a great entertainment community, and I'm having a great time doing my song and dance thing.
Well, I'll tell you, I was going to say it's ironic. It's not ironic. It's very appropriate. You're very well known for your work on the Brady Bunch, which was a family show. Branson, Missouri is certainly the family version of Las Vegas, wouldn't you say?
I would say that, except a couple of other things. There's a lot more outdoor stuff to do: fishing, camping, hiking, hunting, riding, and your money goes a lot further here.
Yeah, very good. Are you an outdoorsman? You like fishing and hunting?
I am. I live, in fact, there's a beautiful lake here called Table Rock Lake, which is a fishing destination from all over the country. Great trout, bass, catfish, a lot of professional fishermen, and they run tournaments here. And I have a boat, and if you can, I do everything in the water there is to do: under it, on it, over it, and in it.
Has that been since the beginning of time, or is this something you acquired later on in life?
No, I literally could swim. I literally was in the swimming pool before I could walk.
Oh, wow. What about the hunting and fishing part?
I am doing some hunting here, mostly birds, and my son, who is 9 years old, is going to teach me how to fish because he's all about it. So I'm learning as he learns.
Very good. Tell us about your show you're doing in Branson.
70s music celebration. It's a party. And I'm having a great time with it. I have a cast of 6. There are 3 women and 3 men, although it's not Brady Bunch. It's really it's the decade delivered in music. It's variety. It's multimedia. And I'm working in this great theater here in Branson. It's the theaters. There's a big range of the facilities for these different theaters, and this one is state of the art. So I have pyrotechnics, haze and smoke, and laser lights, and a mirror ball, of course, and confetti. And I fly in from the ceiling to start the second act, and it's really a lot of fun. And then we explore in great detail. In fact, I have the hardest part of writing this show was getting it down to a 2-hour form. I started with 275 songs, and I now have it down to 48.
Wow!
And that's what we deliver in those 2 hours.
That's a lot of work.
Of fun, and we're exploring James Taylor's and Billy Joel's and Elton John's and the Eagles and Jim Croce and all that kind of great stuff, plus disco and one-hit wonders and duets and country crossover and pop. It's just great fun, and I'm really, really enjoying it.
And just a reminder, Barry Williams, actor Barry Williams, you may know him from being Greg on the Brady Bunch, but he's doing all types of things. Is there a website for the show yet?
There is. It's called 70s Music Celebration. It's 70S Music Celebration. 70S Music Celebration. There's a website there and a schedule. And I'm doing 3 shows a week here in matinees, and it's going great. And probably in 2014 I'll be touring.
Oh, very good. Is there anyone else in the cast that we would recognize?
I got the cream of talent locally.
Right.
These are people that that live here and have worked shows over the past 15 years successfully, and they love the concept and the idea of what I was bringing to the community, and they jumped on board, and I'm really thrilled with them. I had to pick them because the diversity of the music is so tremendous in the 70s. Each one of them needs to carry solos, and then we're breaking it up and into duets as well, and they're all all standalone performers, but we work together very well as a group.
Where did you grow up, Barry?
Los Angeles, specifically the Pacific Palisades, and most of my life has been around the water. I lived in Malibu for about 15 years on the water, and also in Santa Monica on the water, and mostly in the water, with the exception of a 5-year period when I lived in New York City.
How long ago have you moved to Branson? Is it a recent situation?
I came here 2 years ago to open this up and get it going and get some traction with it. And I moved here like lock, stock, and barrel. That means new driver's license plate, bank accounts, the cars, the purchase of my home. I moved here in the early spring of 2012.
You're in it for the long haul. You're doing the whole thing here. That's great, and hopefully the show will last a long time.
Now, here's the thing. I love the Brady Bunch. It was great part of my life. It's still running. Multi-generations of people watched it, which is great fun. But I was a teenager when I was doing that.
Yeah.
In my adult life, I probably made more money as a singer than even as an actor. And largely that's come from musical theater and some 85 different productions of Broadway musicals and working in New York and on Broadway and singing. So the trick here is for the past 25 years, now I'm 58 years old now. For over the past 25 years, almost 30 years, I travel 28 to 30 weeks a year. And that's 1 week at a time, couple of weeks at a time, weekends, that kind of stuff. And I do pretty much the same thing, my whole career. So where I am is not as important as what I'm doing. And here in Branson, Missouri, with it's the music capital of they're more music capital of the country. There are more live shows going on here than in New York. This gives me a chance to do what I love to do, get into it, build an audience, and go home at night. So that's very desirable to me, and it's a great environment and community. So it's like, I'd be very happy to never retire here.
Yeah, right. It sounds like it's an exciting show. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Turning Point with Frank MacKay returns right after this. Welcome back to Turning Point with Frank MacKay.
Let me ask you, you brought up the Brady Bunch. Did you come in after? Did the Brady Bunch come in after the residual situation happened, or was it before?
Well, it's both. The Brady Bunch has had a pretty remarkable history, even by television standards. Our original run, 5 years, 69 to 74, 5 more series that we made. There was a cartoon series, there was a variety show, there was the Brady Girls Get Married, the Brady Brides, there was the Bradys in the 90s, and so between and then 11 different specials like A Very Brady Christmas and books, movies, plays, etc. So the show itself has been good to me financially, but the series, the original run of the series that's still playing now, that started it was in the 70s. I do not receive money from that.
Wow, that's a shame.
DVD.
That's a shame.
Look, it's forced me to get out and stay busy paying taxes.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, you still have a tremendous recognition, not only name recognition, but your face recognition. You got to sing quite a bit on the Brady Bunch, right? I mean, at least 3 or 4 episodes you sang. Am I right about that?
Yeah, 7 of them. And
7.
We recorded 4 albums together, and we toured as a concert act. But it really wasn't until I got into my 20s that I really took a serious look at music and playing and as well as performing and singing.
What was the first record you made?
It was a single called Sweetheart, a single, and it was written by Carole King in 1973, and it was a lot of fun. Great writer, good song, that kind of thing.
Are you saying Carole
Johnny
King?
Bravo, man.
Carole King, like
Carole
Jerry
King,
Goffin? Oh, Kane. Carole Kane.
Yeah.
The actress.
That one.
Yeah. Now,
Street. I feel the earth move. You've got a friend.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. You're in good company then. That's for sure. She's written for a lot of dynamite people. But let me ask you: in your new show in Branson, are you doing any of the songs that you would have done in the Brady Bunch?
No, it's just not a Brady Bunch show, and there are too many great songs to choose from. So I'm playing, and I make a couple comments about the Brady Bunch, but no, it's really not a Brady Bunch show.
Right. You know that a lot of people are going to be coming there that know you because of the Brady Bunch, but you don't care about that, right? They're gonna.
I hope so.
Yeah. Right.
And I don't run from the Brady Bunch. I love doing the Brady Bunch. It was great, and you're right. People, remind me of the show and the time that they were watching it and all that stuff, and I just love it. One of my favorite shows here in Branson has been the Andy Williams Christmas show. God rest his soul.
Sure.
And I've been able to see that a couple of times, and it reminded me of watching his Christmas specials every year on Sunday nights when they would come out. So
the Osmonds, right? The Osmonds were on that show quite a bit.
The Osmonds and the Lennon sisters.
Yeah. Hey, it's good, clean family fun. There's nothing wrong with that. How about any of your family? Are they there with you?
I'm a little spread out right now for various reasons, but I expect that everyone will be together here come spring.
Yeah, it's hard to get everybody in the same place when we as we get a little older, right? It's always complicated, but anyway, it sounds like it's going to be there for a long time. Are you happy with how it's going so far?
I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. For me, I've beaten a lot of odds. Not many people in Screen Actors Guild, ever make a living or a career doing what we love to do. And I've not only been able to I've never had another job than acting or performing. And I'm writing the show I've always wanted to do. And I mean, that's the music that I love, and I have a passion for it. And the nice thing for me is I don't have to learn the lyrics because I already know them. And it's music that I think hopefully will resonate with a wide audience as well.
Actor-singer Barry Williams is our special guest. Gary, give us quickly your turning point in your life, or if you prefer, the turning point in your career.
Well, gee, that's a big question. Career-wise, I'd have to attribute a lot of the direction that my career has gone to the Brady Bunch because of its popularity, because of its kind of saturation into Americana. I would say that was a big break, but I also, you could say the first television show I did, Run for Your Life or Mission Impossible, were also big turning points. And another one was immediately when I left the Brady Bunch, and I knew that I wanted to include music, I came out to New York and auditioned for Bob Fosse for the title role in Pippin, and got that show. I did the first national tour of it, and then I finished it off by working on Broadway with it, and that set really the adult course for my life, and I've been doing that and television and movies ever since.
Let's talk quickly about the Davy Jones Monkey Convention. Was he a friend of yours,
Sure.
Davy Jones?
Yes, I got to tour with Davy and Mickey Dolenz. They have a great show that they do together, and I opened for them. So I came in and did my 40 minutes, and then they did their hour and a half, and toured all over the country. And we played casinos and fairs and club dates and all kinds of things. And that's really where we had a chance to connect. Now, that was in 2001, 2002. So that's where I got to know him the best. We've run into each other, and he was only, on the set maybe 2 days when we did the original show. So
now
that was when I really got to know him, and very sorry for his passing, but happy to support the convention that's going on out in New Jersey in March.
March of 2013, there'll be a convention, and I know you're lending your name to that, and also you're performing. Am I right?
I don't know that I'm performing there.
All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of people would like you to, but you are going to be there.
If they ask me, I'll perform. That's
right.
I do it every day.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to.
But you'll be there.
I just don't know the setup.
Yeah, but you'll be at the convention?
I will definitely be there.
That sounds good. Anything you want to add? Can you give us the website again for your new show?
Sure. It's the name of the show, which is 70s Music Celebration, and it's 70smusiccelebration.com.
Very good. Barry Williams has been our special guest today. Thank you, Barry, for your time. And everyone, please go to Branson, Missouri right now and check out the show. It's supposed to be wonderful.
Bring your family, because this place rocks.
Sounds great. It sounds like it's going to be good. And once again, just give the website one last time.
Sure. 70s Music Celebration. 70s Music Celebration.
Very good. Barry, thanks for being here.
All right. Thank you so much. Great talking with you. Bye-bye.
Same here. Everyone go to 70s. Well, you heard the website 3 times. Go there. It's supposed to be a great show, and we appreciate all of you listening in. We're going to go to break right now, and when we come back, we'll have more.
Turning Point with Frank MacKay returns right after this. Welcome back to Turning Point with Frank MacKay.
Welcome back to Turning Point. Our very special guest is actor and songwriter. A lot of people don't realize that. Alan Thicke. Alan, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Driving along the Pacific Coast Highway at the moment, a beautiful day in the Santa Barbara area, and I won't even ask where you are in case you're in one of those snow belts.
Well, we don't have snow, but we're in New York. We're a little colder than you are. That's for sure.
Understood.
Hey, Alan, a lot of people don't realize how much writing you've done, how much songwriting you've done, and a lot of theme songs over the years. Am I accurate?
Yeah, I started as a writer for comedy shows before I was ever on TV. I wrote for Cosby and Richard Pryor, Flip Wilson, a lot of those variety shows way back in the 70s. And I also got a chance to write a fair amount of music for some of those shows, and that led to a minor career in writing TV theme songs like Facts of Life and Different Strokes. So I've never been a highly accomplished musician, but I have a good commercial ear, and so I've had a little fun with it.
What was your first entrance into the business? Was it as a writer, as you mentioned, or was it did you start out early on as an actor?
Well, back in Canada, I was doing a little bit of everything after university, and because you had to make a living there. You get $35 a week for one show and $85 for another, and you're writing on some, you're singing on others. I was even dancing on one show, believe it or not, and so you get some experience, and then I came to L.A. as a writer, and I did that for 10 years, and then just sort of stumbled into the on-camera business.
Yeah, what was your first big show that you worked for, either as a writer or as an actor? What was your first big break, so to speak?
Well, I actually, after writing for a couple of years, I guess Sammy Davis Jr. would be one of the first, and then I got promoted to producer and did game shows at NBC for a couple of years, and I was the one who brought Alex Trebek to this country. I'm proud to say.
Wow.
And then I guess my first big network writing show was the Glenn Campbell Show.
Hey, let's talk about Alex Trebek for a second. Was he a childhood friend, or was he a college friend? What was it?
He was a couple of years older than me, and in high school I enjoyed him on TV. Got a chance to meet him and work with him when I started my career at the CBC in Canada, and because he was hosting a couple of shows and I would guest on them, and so we were in touch. He was Alex was at one of my weddings, as a matter of fact, and so I thought of him immediately when I was producing this show and they were looking for a host, and he came down and lived with me for a little while, and we formed the first celebrity charity hockey team. So we had quite a history together.
Wow. Yeah, hockey is like religion up there. I don't know, if you're a Ducks fan or a Kings fan out in L.A., either one?
Well, I'm both, and I like the Rangers. I find myself pulling for teams wherever I have friends on the team or in management, and I like to see the guys do well. I'm glad we're back to hockey. On Friday, I'll be at an event celebrating the Kings' Stanley Cup win. And I was thrilled for the Ducks a couple of years ago. So I'm just a front runner that way.
What are you working on now? What's your latest project?
I've been writing the Boomer Humor column in the Huffington Post, and that's been kind of interesting and fun for me, and it has created a bit of a cottage industry for me in terms of making personal appearances, emceeing shows, and speaking engagements, that sort of thing, as one of the voices of the baby boomer crowd. So I try to do it with a sense of humor and get some laughs and try to offer some insight along the way. So, but I also have 3 TV projects with studios in development right now for things that I've created. I enjoy doing that. I love the writing part of my life, and I still do TV shows when they call me. I just did How I Met Your Mother last week. That'll be on in early February, and tonight I'm doing a show that Ashton Kutcher produces, kind of yet another punk show that I'll be guesting on. So, and I'm hosting an ESPN sports special at the end of this month. So I still go on camera when they call me. I try not to get too fat or bald, and as long as I can hold on to some of that, I'll stay in the business. But life is pretty good, and I've enjoyed the variety of it.
Listen, you've had quite a variety of things that you've done in your career. What do you think about the idea of the versatility? A lot of people talk about the specialty business now, or how specialized it is. But you're one of those guys who have done a little bit of everything, and you're having a great career and still going on. Any advice for those trying to make those decisions, specialist or versatility?
Well, I'll tell you, the specialist can also mean you get typecast. Personally, the fun of my career for me has been the variety of it. And coincidentally, my son Robin, who's a wonderful recording artist with a bunch of hits, is making his debut tonight on a BET sitcom series with Kevin Hart. So he's kind of taken my advice to have as much fun as you can by experiencing as many things as they offer you in the business. Dance around a little bit. Who knows? You might find yet another skill set for yourself. Robin's a great, he's known as kind of a romantic balladeer, but he's a great storyteller with a great sense of humor, and he's a good mimic, and I think he'll score and have a lot of fun in this new show. It's called Real Husbands of Hollywood, and it's a put-on, a satire of all the Real Housewives shows. But this was pretty funny with Kevin Hart, J.B. Smoove, and Robin. So check it out on BET.
Well, that sounds great. How about you? Any future appearances on that show planned? Have you talked about it?
Well, not on that show, although they just picked it up for a second season, so maybe they'll invite me to drop over.
You mentioned typecasting. You're on such a popular show in Growing Pains, and you just never got typecast. I mean, it's amazing. So many people from that same era and, certainly the sitcom mode immediately became typecast. Why weren't you? Is it the versatility?
Well, I think, I've been a moving target. I think I'm still best known probably for being one of America's favorite TV dads. I'm very flattered by that. But it has allowed me to do a number of other things, some of them dramatic and most of them in the area of comedy, though. But I have no complaints for what Growing Pains did for me.
If you had to pick out a specific turning point in your life, or if you prefer, in your career, what would it be?
I think that Norman Lear, during his heyday, when he had all of those wonderful sitcoms on TV, All in the Family and Maude and Good Times and the Jeffersons, he kind of plucked me out of the writing pool and made me the producer of Fernwood Tonight and a syndicated show that lasted a couple of years, but was kind of revolutionary, a little different, a little edgy, and off the wall for its time. It got very well received critically, and I think that certainly propelled me to another level, moved me up the food chain a little bit, largely just because of the endorsement that I got from Norman Lear.
Yeah, well, that's a monster to be endorsed by, that's for sure. Let me ask you, what else is there left to do? I mean, you're doing all types of things. You've done all types of things. Is there anything blaring out there that you'd still like to accomplish?
Well, there might be a movie role somewhere in something substantial that I haven't done. I've done a lot of dumb movies and a lot of stupid ones that nobody sees, and some that go direct to DVD. But to be in a real movie with a real challenge, to do some real acting would be still on my bucket list. Most of the things that I've done so far have been less than challenging because they're parts of me, or not having to create some amazing character outside myself. But I'd welcome that challenge someday before I pack it in.
Alan Thicke is our special guest today. Alan, is there a website that you can point people to they can kind of follow what you're doing? Twitter?
I have a homepage, Alan Thicke website that some people keep up to date for me. So I welcome any visitors, and I can be tweeted at. I don't do much Facebooking, but
Right.
I enjoy the brevity of Twitter, and always happy to have people visit the website.
We have the very versatile Alan Thicke has been our very special guest. Anything you want to add, Alan?
Not a bit. Just make sure you keep your eye on Robin on that new series. I'd love to see how the public reacts to it. I think it'll go very well. And watch that episode of How I Met Your Mother next month.
All right, give us the name of Robin's show one more time.
It's called Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Real Husbands of Hollywood. Everyone try to focus in on that. It's we'll see the family genes there, that's for sure. The very talented Alan Thicke. Alan,
hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, Alan. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Turning Point.